The Cold War was a period defined by urgency, rivalry, and constant technological leaps, where every new fighter wasn't just an aircraft, but a response to a perceived enemy advantage. This inventory covers every major Cold War jet fighter that shaped that evolution across East and West, NATO and Warsaw Pact. We'll start with the earliest jets that barely escaped the piston era, move through the supersonic race, and finish with the fourth-generation fighters that still dominate modern skies. But before we continue, tell us, where are you watching from? Drop your location in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Trust me, you're going to love this series. The Bell P-59 Airacomet, the hesitant pioneer, was America's first jet fighter, featuring straight wings and twin engines buried in a bulky fuselage. Designed primarily as a technology demonstrator, it existed to teach engineers and pilots how jets behaved rather than to win air battles. The aircraft never saw combat, arriving too late and performing too poorly for frontline use. With limited speed and climb, it was inferior to contemporary prop fighters. Its true impact wasn't performance, but proof that the United States could enter the jet age at all. That experimental foundation immediately highlighted the need for something operational, which pushed designers toward simpler, more combat-ready layouts. The Gloster Meteor, Britain's pragmatic solution, combined straight wings with twin engines and robust construction. It became the first Allied jet to enter operational service, tasked primarily with intercepting German V-1 flying bombs. While it avoided dogfights with enemy jets, it proved reliable and controllable at a time when jet flight was still unpredictable. Its top speed barely surpassed late-war piston fighters, but its smooth power delivery made it effective in interception roles. The Meteor demonstrated that jets could be fielded responsibly, not just tested. As Britain stabilized jet operations, the United States moved toward a more refined single-engine fighter concept. The Lockheed P-80 Shooting Star, America's first truly effective jet fighter, featured a clean, straight-wing design and a single turbojet engine. Built for speed and simplicity, it entered service just after World War II and became a core early Cold War interceptor. The P-80 saw combat in the opening phase of the Korean War, where it quickly revealed both jet advantages and early limitations. Faster than prop aircraft but still vulnerable, it marked the real operational beginning of U.S. jet air power. Jet technology was now spreading rapidly across Europe, each nation adapting it to local needs and industries. The de Havilland Vampire, compact and distinctive, used a twin-boom tail and a single engine mounted in a central pod. Designed for ease of production and maintenance, it became one of the most widely exported early jet fighters. The Vampire served primarily in air defense and training roles rather than frontline combat. Though modest in speed and altitude performance, it helped dozens of air forces transition from propellers to jets. Its real legacy was accessibility rather than dominance. As jets matured, militaries began demanding aircraft that could deliver payloads as well as speed. The Republic F-84 Thunderjet, heavy and straight-winged, was built as a fighter-bomber rather than a pure interceptor. Designed to carry substantial ordnance, it became a major U.S. tactical strike platform during the Korean War. While unimpressive in dogfights, it excelled in ground attack and nuclear delivery roles. The F-84 showed that jet fighters could be tools of battlefield shaping, not just aerial duels. Across the Iron Curtain, the Soviet Union was rushing its own early designs into service. The MiG-9, the Soviet Union's first operational jet fighter, used twin engines housed in the fuselage with a straight-wing layout. Rushed into production, it suffered from engine reliability issues and limited performance. It never achieved combat prominence, but it gave Soviet engineers critical experience in jet integration. The MiG-9's importance lay in what followed rather than what it achieved. That experience paid off quickly, producing one of the most influential fighters of the era. The MiG-15, the swept-wing shockwave, introduced high-speed aerodynamics to Soviet fighter design. Featuring swept wings, a powerful engine, and heavy cannon armament, it stunned Western forces over Korea. Capable of challenging American bombers and fighters alike, it forced rapid doctrinal and technological responses. While it lacked sophisticated avionics, its climb rate and firepower made it a formidable interceptor. The MiG-15 reshaped air combat expectations overnight. The West responded not with incremental change, but with direct competition. The North American F-86 Sabre, the balanced duelist, paired swept wings with refined aerodynamics and hydraulic controls. Entering combat in Korea, it became the MiG-15's primary adversary. Slightly slower in climb but superior in roll rate and pilot visibility, it restored balance in jet dogfighting. The Sabre's success cemented the idea that pilot-aircraft integration mattered as much as raw performance. With first-generation jet combat proven, nations began refining fighters for peacetime deterrence. The Hawker Hunter, elegant and stable, emphasized handling and reliability over radical innovation. Designed as a day fighter, it became one of Britain's most successful post-war aircraft. Though it never faced large-scale jet-on-jet wars, it served globally in both combat and patrol roles. Its limitations in range and radar reflected its era, but its flying qualities earned lasting respect. France, rebuilding its aviation industry, pursued rapid indigenous development. The Dassault Ouragan, France's first mass-produced jet fighter, featured straight wings and a straightforward design philosophy. Intended as a stepping stone, it provided France with an independent jet capability during the early Cold War. Combat use was limited, but operational reliability was solid. The Ouragan was less about dominance and more about sovereignty. That foundation allowed Dassault to push toward higher performance quickly. The Dassault Mystère IV, sleeker and more powerful, introduced transonic performance to French fighters. With swept wings and improved engines, it became France's first competitive jet on the international stage. The aircraft saw combat during the Suez Crisis, validating its design under fire. While it lacked advanced radar, its speed and climb represented a clear leap forward. As Western designs advanced, Soviet engineers refined their own swept-wing lineage. The MiG-17, the refined knife fighter, improved on the MiG-15 with better aerodynamics and higher speed. Though often mistaken as similar, it offered superior handling at high subsonic speeds. In Vietnam, it proved deadly against faster but less agile opponents. Its simplicity and maneuverability became its defining strengths, even as technology advanced around it. Naval aviation introduced unique constraints that reshaped fighter design entirely. The Vought F-8 Crusader, the gunfighter with a mission, was built around speed and a powerful cannon armament. Designed for carrier operations, it featured variable incidence wings to aid deck landings. In Vietnam, it achieved one of the highest kill ratios of the conflict. Though radar and missile limitations emerged, its performance earned lasting respect. Supersonic flight soon became the defining metric of fighter credibility. The MiG-19, the Soviet Union's first supersonic fighter, used twin engines and swept wings optimized for speed. Designed as an interceptor, it introduced the challenges of high-speed handling and fuel consumption. Operational use revealed maintenance difficulties, but it marked a critical technological milestone. Supersonic capability was now no longer optional. Western designers responded with even more extreme performance priorities. The Lockheed F-104 Starfighter, the missile with a man in it, emphasized raw speed and climb above all else. Featuring tiny wings and a powerful engine, it was optimized for interception. While exceptionally fast, it proved unforgiving to fly and suffered high accident rates in some services. Its performance impressed, but its narrow mission profile limited long-term success. Some nations sought balance rather than extremes. The Dassault Mirage III, the Delta Wing Interceptor, offered high speed, simplicity, and good altitude performance. Designed for quick reaction defense, it achieved Mach 2 capability with a clean delta layout. Combat use in multiple conflicts demonstrated reliability and effectiveness. However, Delta Wings imposed low-speed handling penalties that shaped its operational limits. As threats expanded, fighters needed to do more than one job. The McDonnell Douglas F-4, Phantom II, the brute force solution, combined twin engines, heavy payload, and advanced radar. Initially designed for fleet defense, it evolved into a multi-role powerhouse. Serving in Vietnam and beyond, it proved adaptable across missions. Large and less agile, it compensated with speed, sensors, and sheer versatility. While Western fighters grew larger, the Soviets pursued mass production efficiency. The MiG-21, the minimalist interceptor, became the most produced supersonic fighter in history. With a delta wing and simple systems, it was cheap, fast, and easy to maintain. Combat performance varied widely based on pilot training and tactics. Its limitations were clear, but its global impact was unmatched. Northern Europe demanded fighters tailored to unique geography. The Sabre 35 Draken, distinctive and daring, used a double delta wing for high-speed interception. Designed to operate from short, dispersed runways, it prioritized climb and quick reaction. While limited in payload, it fulfilled its national defense role effectively. The Draken showcased how geography shapes doctrine. Britain, meanwhile, doubled down on pure interception. The English Electric Lightning, the vertical sprinter, featured stacked engines and extraordinary climb rate. Built to intercept Soviet bombers, it could reach altitude faster than almost anything else of its era. Range limitations were severe, but within its niche, it excelled. The Lightning was a specialist, not a generalist. As naval threats grew more complex, fleet defense evolved again. The Grumman F-14 Tomcat, the Fleet Guardian, combined variable sweep wings with long-range radar and missiles. Designed to counter bomber and missile threats, it excelled in air superiority. Combat use later proved its dogfighting capability as well. Complex and expensive, it nonetheless redefined naval air defense. Soviet designers answered with flexibility of their own. The MiG-23, the swing wing compromise, sought to balance speed, range, and payload. Variable geometry wings allowed adaptation across flight regimes. Early variants struggled, but later improvements enhanced effectiveness. It represented ambition constrained by technological limits. France continued refining multi-role adaptability. The Mirage F1, the evolutionary step, abandoned the delta wing for improved handling and versatility. Designed for interception and ground attack, it served in numerous air forces. Combat records were mixed, but reliability remained solid. The Mirage F1 emphasized practicality over spectacle. Air superiority soon became an explicit design goal. The F-15 Eagle, the uncompromised predator, prioritized performance above all else. Twin engines, large wings, and powerful radar made it dominant in air combat. With an unmatched combat record, it validated the air superiority doctrine. Costly but decisive, it set a new benchmark. That dominance didn't require size alone. The F-16 Fighting Falcon, the agile tactician, used fly-by-wire controls and relaxed stability. Designed for maneuverability and affordability, it excelled in multi-role missions. Combat success across decades proved its adaptability. Its balance of cost and capability reshaped fighter procurement worldwide. The Soviet Union responded with a generational leap. The MiG-29, the close-in brawler, emphasized thrust, agility, and short-range combat. Advanced aerodynamics and helmet-mounted sights enhanced lethality. Early logistics challenges limited impact, but performance was undeniable. It represented a clear step into modern air combat. Finally, the Cold War closed with a statement of intent. The Su-27, the long-range dominator, combined size, endurance, and extreme maneuverability. Designed to counter Western air superiority fighters, it introduced super-maneuverable flight characteristics. Its presence alone shifted balance calculations. Powerful but resource-intensive, it symbolized the Cold War's technological peak. Together, these aircraft tell the full story of Cold War air combat. Urgency giving way to doctrine, doctrine to specialization, and specialization to dominance. Each design reflects not just engineering choices, but national priorities and strategic fears. By the end of the Cold War, jet fighters had become integrated systems rather than simple machines. The legacy of these aircraft still defines modern air power today.